December 20th, 1940. Deep within the quiet English countryside, the cold breath of winter seeps through the thin brick walls of a sprawling Victorian estate called Bletchley Park. The night shift has just begun. You can almost feel the freezing chill in the air, mingled with a tension so thick it clings to every corner of the dimly lit code-breaking huts. Rows of young women in modest uniforms sit at wooden desks, their fingers flying over typewriters and cryptic notes. The hum of early machinery, the scratch of pencils, the occasional murmur of a whispered name. This is no ordinary office. It is the nerve center of an invisible war. Here, masters of puzzles and mathematics, linguistics and logic have gathered, united by a single mission: to break the unbreakable. The German military sends its secrets out encrypted through the Enigma machine, a cipher so complex some say it is impossible to defeat. But inside Bletchley Park, an elite band of codebreakers devotes every waking moment to peeling back the layers of silence that protect the enemy's plans. Among them, Alan Turing, a quiet, unassuming genius, moves through the huts like a shadow, his mind racing faster than the tick of the clock. The stakes could not be higher. Every intercepted message decoded here could mean the difference between life and death for thousands of Allied soldiers. Each breakthrough sends ripples far beyond these walls, shaping the fate of battles and the course of history. But the work is grueling, shrouded in secrecy. No one speaks of what they do outside these gates. Their triumphs must remain whispered celebrations, and their failures invisible scars. The world will never know, at least not yet. Suddenly, the rhythmic tapping halts. A message at last decrypted. Eyes widen. A clue so critical that it could turn the tide in the darkest days of war. But what does this message reveal? And who will decipher its true meaning before the enemy changes their code forever? Early 1940, Hut 8 at Bletchley Park hummed with raw energy and relentless focus. Alan Turing, a slender man with an intense gaze that seemed to peer into the future, sat hunched over a cluttered desk. Around him were scraps of paper filled with cryptic symbols, and nearby, the prototype of his revolutionary bomb machine, a device that would reshape the course of the war. The click and whirl of the bomb echoed through the hut, relentless and unyielding. You can almost hear Turing's mind working faster than the machine itself. The bomb was designed to unravel the mystery of the Enigma's daily changing settings. Each turn of its wheels brought the Allies one step closer to reading the encrypted German military messages that had until then been thought impenetrable. This machine didn't just automate laborious guesswork. It introduced a new era in code-breaking, a race against time where every message decoded could save countless lives. But Turing's work went beyond technology. He spearheaded innovative cryptanalysis techniques, including Turingery, a method that cracked another deadly German cipher system called Tunny. This gave the Allies insight into the highest levels of German strategic planning, like listening to Hitler's generals' secret conversations over breakfast. It was an invisible weapon, one wielded with intellectual precision. By 1943, the code-breaking factory at Bletchley was processing an astonishing 84,000 Enigma messages each month to every minute. The clandestine intelligence gained steered naval convoys away from deadly U-boat Wolf packs, turned battlefield ambushes into victories, and shortened the war by an estimated 2 years. But all of this genius, this life-saving innovation, remained a closely guarded secret, the true extent of their impact hidden in silence. Then came the question that haunted every codebreaker. What if the Germans changed their system again? Could the fragile breakthrough be maintained, or would their edge vanish overnight? January 18, 1944. A hulking beast arrives at Bletchley Park under the cover of night, transported by a nondescript post office truck. Engineer Tommy Flowers stands by, sweat beading on his brow despite the winter chill. As his creation Colossus is unloaded piece by painstaking piece into Block B, this isn't just another machine. It's the world's first large-scale electronic digital computer. A 9-ton marvel of 1,500 vacuum tubes flickering to life like stars in a blackout sky. The air buzzes with the scent of hot solder and ozone, the low hum promising speeds no human hand could match. You can almost feel the ground tremble as Colossus MKI powers up for the first time in February. Designed to crack the Lorenz cipher Lorenz, the elite encryption used by Hitler's high command for their most secret strategic messages. Colossus devours tape punched with cryptic data at 5,000 characters per second. No more endless manual calculations. Flowers, a postal engineer turned visionary, had bet everything on electronics over clunky mechanical relays, defying skeptics who called it madness. Led by mathematician Max Newman in the Newmanry unit, a team of codebreakers feeds it intercepted signals, watching as patterns emerge from chaos. The impact hits like a thunderclap. Within weeks, Colossus is dissecting over 100 Lorenz messages a week, revealing German plans for troop movements, supply lines, and deceptions that would shape D-Day. Women operators, sharp-eyed and unflinching, switch plugs and tweak switches through endless shifts, their hands steady amid the glow of tube lights. This machine doesn't just break codes. It peers into the enemy's soul, turning whispers from Berlin into Allied lifelines. By mid-1944, upgraded Mark II versions scream at 25,000 characters per second, parallel processing the deluge. Yet secrecy binds them tighter than steel. One slip, and the Germans might suspect their Lorenz is compromised altering wheels, scrapping keys, plunging Bletchley back into darkness. As D-Day looms, a chilling intercept surfaces. Hitler's generals plotting a counterstrike. Will Colossus reveal it in time, or will the shadows close in? June 6, 1944. Dawn breaks over the English Channel, but at Bletchley Park, the night shift pulses on without pause. In Block B, the Colossus machines roar like caged beasts, vacuum tubes glowing orange against the blackout curtains. Operator Dorothy Duboyson, her fingers raw from endless tape handling, loads another reel of punched paper into the MK2. The air crackles with heat and urgency 5,000 characters per second, tearing through Lorenz intercepts from OKW, Hitler's own high command. Every decoded wheeze reveals troop deceptions, supply shortages, and phantom armies that never existed. You can almost taste the salt spray from Normandy beaches in the codebreakers' hurried breaths. Colossus unmasks the bluff. Germans convinced the main assault hits Calais, not Utah or Omaha. Hitler reserves his Panzer divisions there, frozen by false radio traffic from Allied double agents. Bletchley intel floods, Schaeff headquarters, Eisenhower's planners, dodge ambushes, reroute convoys, exploit gaps. Without this edge, D-Day drowns in blood. 10 colossi, by war's end, process millions of characters weekly. Their human teams, wrens, boffins, land girls, rotating shifts in a fevered relay. The revelations cascade. 5-1 buzz bombs rerouted. Ardennes counteroffensives foreseen. Lives saved stack like invisible walls against the Wehrmacht. But as allies push inland, a darker intercept flickers across the teleprinters. German suspicions rising. Engineers tweaking Lorenz wheels. One wrong move, and the pipeline dries up. August 1944. The roar of Allied bombers overhead fades into the distance. But inside Bletchley Park's Hut 11, exhaustion hangs heavier than the summer humidity. Joan Clarke, one of Turing's brightest protégés, rubs her temples after 18 straight hours decoding naval Enigma variants. Her desk overflows with crib sheets' educated guesses on German weather reports and tea-stained bomb logs. Around her, 8,000 souls mathematicians, crossword champions, debutantes turned Rennes cycle through shifts. their faces gaunt under harsh fluorescent lights. You can almost smell the stale cigarette smoke and ink. Feel the ache in shoulders bent over Robinson's electromechanical beasts that prepped data for Colossus. These weren't faceless drones. Real lives fueled the machine. Women like Mavis Beatty, who cracked Italian naval codes pre-war, or Tommy Flower's team, soldering through blackouts. Secrecy's toll was brutal no letters home boasting triumphs. No recognition for diverting U-boats or foiling V2 sites. Families wondered why their daughters vanished into government work. Divorces whispered. Turing himself battled personal demons, his genius shadowed by isolation. Yet they persisted, processing 1,000 miles of tape daily. Their intel-piercing battle of the bulge fog warning of Hitler's Ardennes gamble, saving Bastogne. The war's end nears. VE Day looms. But as Colossi hum toward final intercepts, a final Lorenz message crackles. German collapse confirmed? Or is it a trap? One last code change could snatch victory away. May 8, 1945. V-Day erupts across Europe. Church bells peal. Crowds roar in Trafalgar Square, but at Bletchley Park, silence descends like a shroud. The final Colossus intercepts confirm it. German high command signals surrender, Lorenz traffic grinding to a halt. Tommy Flowers wipes grease from his hands, staring at the flickering tubes of his 10th machine, now idle after processing the war's last secrets. Wrens like Elsie Palmer unplug reels, their eyes hollow from years of blackout shifts, while Max Newman tallies the Newmanry's final score, millions of characters decrypted. Hitler's deceptions laid bare from Normandy to the Rhine. You can almost hear the collective exhale. Feel the weight lift from shoulders, bowed under secrecy's yoke. Bletchley's invisible hand shortened the war by up to 2 years, saved millions of lives from U-boats, bombs, and battles unseen. Turing slips away to Cambridge, his Bombe legacy etched in naval victories. Joan Clarke pockets a cipher wheel memento. Her Enigma breaks forgotten. No medals, no parades, just orders to dismantle. Churchill commands it. 8 colossi smashed to scrap, too spirited to GCHQ for Cold War shadows. Every blueprint burned. The park empties. Recruits scatter to civilian lives, haunted by unspoken triumphs. Decades pass in enforced amnesia, until the 1970s, when whispers break free. Bletchley emerges from myth, birthplace of the digital age, where human ingenuity outwitted machines. But one question lingers. What if their silence had cracked sooner? Would the world have honored its unsung guardians? The huts crumble under ivy by the 1990s. But Tony Sale rebuilds Colossus from ghosts photos, survivor tailies, flowers diagrams. In 2007, it whirs again at the National Museum of Computing, vacuum tubes aglow. Cracking tunny as in 44. Bletchley Park Trust restores the site, a mecca for code-breaking pilgrims. Alan Turing, pardoned posthumously in 2013, fathers modern computing AI, smartphones, the internet all tracing roots to those wartime racks. Women, 75% of the workforce, step from shadows. Mavis Beatty, crossword whiz who sank Italian fleets. Ruth Bourne, Wren operator dodging V1 South while plugging Colossi. Their story fuels films, books, revelations of D-Day deceptions, bulge warnings. GCHQ releases photos in 2024 Colossus, re-engineered in secret bunkers, bridging World War II to cyber wars. No longer buried, Bletchley's Codebreakers stand eternal, proof that intellect, not arms, conquers darkness. The war they won echoes today. Every secure message, every algorithm owes them. Their silence bought victory. Their voices now inspire.